What's going on, my Breakthrough Broker friends? Dr. Bruce back in the house with another edition of 90 Day Sales Breakthrough Broker Podcast. Every single week, I try to come into your life and give you value as a real estate agent or even a title producer when it comes to you being a quote-unquote solopreneur. I treat everybody that I coach like you're solopreneurs, where you are solely in charge of your sales, your service, your marketing, and of course, all of this is in fact a mindset. And this week's topic I want to focus on: without discipline, there is no consistency. Discipline is one of those overused and underdone things. And without having that daily discipline, you can't have consistency. And I believe consistency is king. Consistency is the most important thing for you and your business, right? Consistency is undefeated when it comes to any top producer. It requires us to go out there and consistently do a lot of the things that are required of us to be super successful. What is the difference between discipline and consistency? Essentially, without discipline, there is no consistency. One of the things that I know as a coach is there are a lot of overused and underdone words, right? So there's a lot of words that we use in the coaching profession and the business that we use, but we really don't give them meaning. So that is what I want to do with us today, is give these words meaning, right? Just like for me in my business, my health and wellness, for really anything in my life, it comes down to, number one, I have to have discipline. I have to have discipline when it comes to those daily micro level moments, right? So once I set a plan for myself, I set an attack mode, right? So for me, I just think about my health and wellness. I want to hit up 1,000 active calories every single day. Now, I know if I wake up right away and I go do my group coaching workout, my group fitness workout, that I'm going to get to basically 500 active calories. All right. So the discipline comes into place where there's going to be the days that I don't feel like doing it. There's going to be days that I give myself permission or excuses why I shouldn't go work out in that very moment, right? So that is where discipline comes into place. It's like, man, I know what I should be doing and I know why I want to do it. And I set the plan for myself every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I want to do this type of workout, this exercise, this thing for my business. And then it's in those micro level moments that discipline has to take control, right? As soon as we give ourselves permission not to do something once, we're much more likely to not do that something again. And that starts a trend. That starts habits. That starts routines going in the opposite direction of where we want it to go, right? So I just think about that for me and my prospecting. Every single day, I want to proactively prospect 60 minutes of outbound sales activity. So I lock myself in a room, between 8 o'clock and 9 o'clock or 9 o'clock and 10 o'clock. It's on my calendar every single day where I'm going to do outbound sales activities related to this one thing, right? So I might follow theme days on Mondays. I'm calling my current clients. On Tuesdays, I'm calling my referral partners. On Wednesdays, I'm calling all of my past clients. On Thursdays, I'm calling my connectors, right? And then Friday, it's basically a catch-all, any new leads that came in. So I'm just giving you that example because it requires discipline to overcome creative avoidance in those daily micro level moments, right? Like I give myself permission to, if I work from home, it's like I got outside distractions, the kids, got to make my bed, I got to do this cleaning, I have to do whatever it might be, right? I don't have kids, just for the record, but I understand people that I coach, like that's part of the issue, that's part of the challenge, right? You work in an office and there's water cooler talk. You work in an office and maybe you're a branch manager and your team needs your time, so therefore you have an open door policy, right? So I think about it like that way. Discipline is doing the heavy lifting even when you don't feel like doing it. You have to tell your emotions to F off quite a bit, all right? So that is what discipline is. It's basically you set the plan for yourself. You say, you know what, these are my non-negotiables. These are my priorities. These are the obstacles I know I'm going to face. Well, it's in those moments when you face those obstacles not to give yourself permission or an excuse to not do what it is that you do. Now listen, if you can do that consistently 80% of the time every 90 days, that creates the habit. That creates the consistency for your business, right? So a lot of us talk about, I need to be more consistent, right? Just like if you think about when you go buy a certain product, whether it's food, whether it's clothes, whatever it might be, right? It's the consistency that you go back to those places because you're going to get that certain type of service, that certain type of whatever it is that you're going to get from that. So the consistency is vital for long-term success. That's where we talk about the compound effect, right? Get 1% better, atomic habits, whatever the concept might be. But guys, at the end of the day, without discipline, there is no consistency. So that's where I like to think about this on a micro level, the daily basis, during those times of frustration or doubt when you don't feel like it. That's when the discipline has to take place. That's when the discipline has to take over. I also think about that in terms of motivation versus inspiration, right? It's easy to work when we're inspired. A lot of us start out with good expectations, right? We have good intentions. But then again, on a micro level, there's going to be things that happen. And that's where it requires you to be super disciplined. The most overused, underdone word, in my opinion, in the vocabulary for us as salespeople is discipline and consistency. Discipline and accountability, right? We have to be accountable. We have to be disciplined in those moments when we don't feel like doing those types of things. That's why I love a word called disciplined focus, right? So a disciplined focus is I know exactly what I need to do. And during those moments, man, I'm locked in. I'm not going to allow outside distractions to take place. I'm not going to be putting out fires. I'm not going to get caught in the email trap. So for me, in my day-to-day business, I have a non-negotiable of 60 minutes proactive prospecting time. And so in order for me to complete that 60 minutes, I need to know exactly who I want to talk to. So when I coach people, I basically would tell you 80% of your week should already be mapped out before Monday hits, right? You should know who you want to reach out to on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 80% of it. And there's going to be 20% of things that's going to require you change or things that come in or stuff like that, okay? But at the end of the day, guys, discipline is the key vital thing here. And then over time, if you do that disciplined act, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, now all of a sudden you look up over 90 days and you've created that consistent discipline plan where you've gone out there and executed on that. So just know in your day-to-day life, your day-to-day business, whether it's your health and wellness, whatever your goal is that you want to achieve, is there's going to be obstacles that come into play. There's going to be times that you don't feel like doing it. And that is where it requires the discipline. And over a long stretch of time is where you become more consistent within those habits and those routines, right? So instead of saying, okay, I'm going to start that tomorrow, I'll do that tomorrow, or I'm giving myself this built-in permission because this happened or that happened or whatever it might be, you have to stop doing that. That's where that discipline really comes into place. And any of the top producers, really in anything in life, they have that disciplined focus. They know in those moments it's a non-negotiable. I'm not going to put off till later on. I have to be super focused. I have to be hyper focused during those disciplined times. So as always, I appreciate you hopping on here, and I hope I add some type of value to you, right? Every single week I come into your life to add value to you as a salesperson, whether that's personally or professionally. And so this week, we're really focused on staying disciplined in those moments of weakness, when you don't feel like doing it, when you have creative avoidance, when something comes across your plate that you feel like is more urgent during that time. You have to stay disciplined in the areas that matter most to you as a business owner.